Hey, what's up, fam? Thank y'all for tuning in once again. As always, be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And when you do subscribe, hit the notification bell. So every time I drop a video, you will be the first to know about it. So y'all remember those migrants that beat them police up, did a story about it, and found out, that they had committed crimes before and they was out on bail. So, they got arrested. They're all in jail. So now these guys are crime victims. Can you believe that? Well, let's get into the story, okay? This is from the New York Post, and it reads, NYC migrant accused of beating cops in Times Square, punching and biting store workers, whines as he's the one in danger as judge sets $100,000 bail. I want y'all to give that judge a hand clap of praise for a second, because I don't want to hear it. Now, you out there committing crimes, trying to be Billy Bad Butt, and this goes to anybody, migrant, citizen, whoever. You want to go out there and try to prove you hard, like can't nobody touch you, like you invincible. But then when you get your card pulled, then you want to cry victim. Ain't nobody got time for that at all. But let's get into the story. A Venezuelan migrant accused in the caught on video beating of cops in Times Square, and who previously allegedly punched two store workers and bit one of them, claims he's the one afraid of getting hurt now that he's behind bars. Like, what? Wait a minute. Yorman Reveron, 24, has received numerous death threats on social media in regards to this case. His lawyers told a judge Friday while arguing that the accused violent offender should be freed without bail to protect himself. Is you crazy? So protect themselves, but to put everybody else in danger. Because remember, he did commit crimes when he was out before this, right? They are, to be frank, afraid to come to court, the attorney Roberto Perez said at Reveron's Manhattan Supreme Court arraignment, referring to the suspect and his family. But Judge Ruth, let me tell you something. Something y'all, now I understand he's probably from a place where, shoot, you cross the police or you cross the cartel, well, probably the cartel. Police probably don't have a whole lot of say-so down there, but if you cross the wrong people, you might get beheaded, head hung off a bridge, body thrown in, the other half of your body thrown in front of your mama house, things of that nature. I'm sure you've been through stuff like that, but here in this country, you don't touch the police. You just don't. So you say he got death threats. It's quite possibly some of those accounts are probably dummy accounts, and quite possibly some of those accounts came from the boys in blue themselves or people that they know. Because, like I say, here you don't touch the police like that. Whether you like them, hate them, or indifferent, that's how it goes in this country. But Judge Ruth pickle scoffed. It's clear that Mr. Reveron has been here 1 year and has already had two interactions with the law. Petty larcenies and assaultive behavior. And while he was out on supervised release, who the hell's watching him? Supervised release, doesn't that mean somebody watching? Because, in child support, if you got like supervised visitation, when you get your child, somebody has to be there while you had your kids. So the question is, who's supposed to be watching them? And if they wasn't watching them, shouldn't they be arrested too? Because they didn't do their job. I'm quite sure with them being migrants, they probably got plenty of money to watch this dude. So there might be a little more investigation to be done on that one. And while he was out on supervised release, he continued in his case. So bail is appropriate at this time, the jury said, ordering Reveron held on the $100,000 bail that Manhattan prosecutors sought. Reveron is accused of grabbing and tossing a cop to the ground and pushing another officer during the mob attack around 8:30 p.m. January 27 outside of a migrant shelter at West 42nd Street near 7th Avenue. Isn't that crazy? Right outside your house. And you feel like you want to beat up the police. Like, who does that? The suspect, who has lived in the city for about a year, was previously arrested at least twice before in Manhattan and dumped back on the street without bail both times. He's accused of stealing pants from Nordstrom Rack and punching Nordstrom Rack. Them pants is like something wrong with them anyway if they had the rack. and punching and biting a store employee there in late November. Why he can go like the Goodwill and get a whole bunch of pants? Late November, and then helping to swipe a coat and suitcase from Macy's in Herald Square, where he also allegedly punched a worker in the face just before Christmas. You see, I'm gonna tell you why I feel that they putting this guy in jail, raising the bail, and doing everything else that I'm about to read. I'm gonna tell you that here in a minute. Reverend and most of the other police beating suspects had initially been freed without bail in the assault on the two cops, sparking widespread outrage. Now, was that the mayor or the governor or somebody, the woman who said that at first she said that it had to be looked into to see if they need to be deported, and then she come back and said, yeah, they need to be deported. Man, this is an election year, y'all. I always remember that. Remember that. Two suspected members of the notorious Venezuela street gangs who were busted in the cops' beating and then released also were given bail Friday, but were being held without facing federal charges. My question, it's not even a question. You see that the government knows who is who when they come over here. You see they know that these guys are in a Venezuela street gang. How they know that? I don't know. But they know these things. So they know a lot about the people that's come on here. They know that everybody coming over here, they should have known from the beginning, we're not going to be law-abiding citizens. Hell, they jumping razor wire, jumping over fences and swimming instead of going through checkpoints. So that right there lets you know that there's some criminality to these people. From the jump, you coming in illegally. So they should already know that, you know, a lot of y'all are going to be criminals. A lot of them are going to be criminals anyway. Let's see. They are set to undergo deportation proceedings at some point. Now, see, again, you see how the tide is changing. You see, these politicians are afraid that these Republicans are going to get put in office and going to get rid of all these Democrats, because the Democrats are the ones who said the no cash bail system. So people who like I thought that was only supposed to be for like non-violent offenders. But if you biting and beating up people, doesn't that constitute violence? And then you beating up cops, doesn't that constitute violence too? But you let them out. You let them out to go back and to commit crimes. My thing is, what's the difference from one crime to another? Let's say a person breaks in your house, breaks in your store, go to your store to rob it. You try to defend them, defend yourself, fight back, and they bite you. Or they beat you up and they take your stuff. They get caught and then they get let out. Not for a lack of evidence, but because the system says, you know, we can't charge them bail because they ain't got no money. So we got to let them out on their own recognizance, and hopefully they'll be back in the court. Now, if they don't come back to court, then they'll have it on warrant, and then we'll arrest them again. They'll be hell. So tell me, from a moral standpoint, how is that different than being assaulted? Not from a physical and a mental and emotional, because we know there's nothing compared to that. That is something where a person does something like that, whatever body part that they use to touch the other person, it should be cut off and put in their mouth and them hung upside down. Not letting them die, just thriving in pain. Okay. But what I'm saying, like, still, if someone, I remember when I was a kid and our home got broken into. And I know my mom was devastated. Me as a youngster, I really didn't feel a ramification. I really didn't feel it that bad, probably because it wasn't my house and my stuff didn't get stolen. So I really didn't feel it, but I saw like the fear in my mom's eyes, the hurt in my mom's eyes. And then like a week or two later, they tried it again. Didn't succeed, but they tried it again. And that's when I really saw the fear in my mom's eyes, to where my dad was like, okay, we're going to put the house up for sale and we're going to move. So she wasn't touched, but the fear of someone violating her, the home, trying to break it, did it once and try to do it again and stealing something, stealing stuff out the house. And I think we eventually got an alarm and stuff like that, but we wasn't there too much long after that, if I recall. But it's just, like I say, seeing her face, knowing that she just wasn't going to be right. So my thing is, like I say, so what's the difference? So you saying that if they would have got caught and since it was a non-violent offense, you just would have let them out. Now imagine if she would have known who done it, and then they get arrested, and then she look up and they out, and they back on the street. How you think she gonna feel about that? How you think my dad or even myself, how you think we all gonna feel like about that? So tell me what is right about somebody committing a crime against you and they're caught. You know who it is. They go to the tank or go to jail or booking. And then next thing you know, they let right back out. And they can walk right by you and thumb their nose at you. Pretty much saying, I'll be back. How's it supposed to make you feel? That's the problem with the New York justice system, but they're trying to change it because, like I said, a lot of people are going from blue to red. And these politicians are afraid, so they know they're going to have to change their tactics because it's not working. That liberal tactic stuff is not working. But there is somebody who's trying to keep it going, and I might do that in a different video. What it say? One of them, Kevin Servita Arocha, 19, tried to hide his role in the cop brawl by changing clothes afterwards, authorities said Friday. The suspect, who has been in the U.S. for 3 months, had initially been freed without bail and was taken into custody in a Bronx apartment Tuesday on the U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement warrant. The judge said his bail of $15,000 Friday in the cops meeting. Prosecutors had asked that he be held without bail. The second reputed member of the Trinidad Aragua gang, Wilson Juarez, 21, didn't touch any of the officers during the beating, but tried to throw cops off the case by switching clothes with another suspect, prosecutors said. So see, these people are part of a street gang, and they come in here and committing crimes. Who would have thunk it? Juarez was arrested at the Bronx pad with Arocha on ice wraps. He was given a procedural $1 bail Friday in the cops beating, having been charged with tampering with physical evidence, a non-bail eligible crime. But as with Arocha, he was also being held on ICE charges. So really, it wasn't it's not the New York police, it's ICE that's doing that. And you know what's funny about that? Because you remember the bill, I think it passed with the border crisis that had Ukraine, the money for Ukraine and Israel. Part of that bill, or the original bill, had funding for ICE. But then ICE said they weren't going to get the money. They was going to have to cut workers and then not. As a matter of fact, it's an article I saw earlier. Man, I should have kept it. That said how ICE wasn't going to hold people. They're going to have to let some people go because they don't have the funding. They need money to continue their jobs and to hire more people. See, that's the jacked part about politics. Like I say, I don't know why they had to put all these bills together, why they couldn't keep them separate. If you need money funding for ICE in the border, that should have been one bill. And then you want to talk about Ukraine and Israel, that should be another bill. That's how it should have been from the jump. But your president and the Democrats are holding the nation hostage, backing you up against the wall, making you make a choice. But it's saying making you buy a car when your car broke down, or sending you to the grocery store with $100 when you ain't ate in 3 days. You're going to get big-eyed and you're going to make irrational decisions. I think that's what they hoping for. And Henry Brito, 24, an alleged serial thief since he's been in New York City for the past 8 months. And notice none of these people been here a year and they already committing crimes. How in the heck when you see, and that's why you come over here and you commit crimes and you not from this country, you should be deported immediately. No questions asked, because we got enough criminals that are citizens over here that we got to deal with. Y'all get rid of him. Hell, even for jaywalking, just gotta be gone. He said he had been the only one of the busted he had been the only one of the busted cop beat migrants to first be jailed in the cop case. He was ordered held on $15,000 bail at the time. The pastor then posted his bail. Now it's like something missing there, because it don't say, he just busted out with pastor. The pastor then posted his bail Tuesday, and unless is he a pastor? Let's say the pastor must have been written by AI probably, and the suspect walked free. But Pickle Holtz was having none of it Friday, reinstituting Brito's bail at $15,000, noting since he has been here, he has 4 separate cases of petty larceny. Brito is the accused initial instigator in the January 27th incident. He had refused to move along when the officer went to disperse the rowdy group. His lawyer, Mark Jankowicz, argued to the judge. Ultimately, Mr. Brito did move. He was pushing a baby stroller. Pickle shot back. There wasn't a baby in the stroller. The criminal mind. A 5th migrant, Doran Andres Gomez Ezekiel, 19, who was initially released in the cops beating, but then rearrested 2 weeks later over a violent Queens robbery at Macy's and remanded until his arraignment Friday, was ordered held on $50,000 bail. Prosecutors has sought $100,000. He's accused of grabbing one officer and kicking another in the Times Square incident. Prosecutors told the judge in the shoplifting case, Gomez Ezekiel, who had been in the U.S. for 5 months, most recently staying at the Rose Hotel in Manhattan, allegedly acted as Outlook while one of his cohorts punched a store security guard and helped swipe $600 in merchandise. So you come over here, I don't know how much you pay to get over here, but if you're in the street gang, you probably came over here with gang ties, looking to do some ill-gotten things. You're staying in the Rose Hotel, which I heard is a pretty nice upscale hotel, for free. You're probably getting money for free. Them clothes you got, the mayor was in New York. So who was it? Eric Adams? Eric Adams probably gave you them clothes. Probably even got you a bank card or a prepaid card with money on it. Probably would have been eligible for it if you ain't got it. And what you do when you get here, you ain't getting no job, you ain't working, you out here robbing high dollar stores and getting out. And this is what the Democrat Party want for us. Amazing. All of the suspects pleaded not guilty on Friday. So here's the thing. I said before in a different video, I'm not against migrants coming to the country. Matter of fact, I saw a story today where some migrants over there in the West, I think it was in Oregon, Portland, Oregon, got sworn in as citizens. Those people look like law-abiding citizens. Those people look like they went through the proper channels, came over, got the paperwork, working on the green card, working on the visas, probably working at jobs, passed the exams, did everything they had to do for the, 8 to 10 years, and was sworn in as U.S. citizens, honorary U.S. citizens. These guys here, they ain't come like that. They probably came on one of them SUVs, went around that wall, run down the side of the wall and hollering for asylum. But now, again, they're crying like little babies because people have threatened them. Again, play stupid games, win stupid prizes. That's how it goes. No ifs, ands, buts about it. We don't have time and don't have money, but this is what people like that is what your tax dollars are going to. People out here committing crimes, and it's not right. I ain't heard too much from the mayor or the government on this case so far, but it's still kind of early, so we'll see how it go. But yeah, they should have been deported first crime they committed, period. Like I said, we got enough citizens as it is committing crimes that the judicial system didn't have room for them. So a lot of them be sitting in jail and can't get out on bail because they got bail hearings months from now, and all they did was maybe, like I said, maybe rob the store, rob some chips or something, or stole some clothes or whatever. And now they sitting in jail for months waiting on a bail hearing. When something like that, petty crime, okay, give them bail, set a fine, whatever the case you gotta do, and go on about your business. Put them in counter and be easy. But like I said, just the backlog is just two extremes. Now you adding on tens of thousands of illegal migrants into the system, and a lot of them got court cases that's years from now dealing with them coming over here illegally. So again, what are we supposed to do? Continue to pay taxes on this? Because that's what you're doing. But anyway, tell you what you think about this. Oh, I don't feel sorry for them. Just letting you know, I'm sorry. Like I said, you out here committing crimes. You're doing wrong. You're robbing people. You're a menace to society, whether you're an illegal immigrant or a U.S. citizen. You do that, you need to have to deal with the judicial system to the fullest extent of the law that is allowed. And for them, get them out of here. That's 4, 5 less immigrants we got to deal with right now. And just see if you can't get them all like that. But anyway, tell me what you think about this story. Leave your comments below and then share it with the world. And with that being said, I'll leave you in peace, and I'll see you on the other side.